and she'll just fall quiet.
For convenience sake, Darren is sitting next to her. He'll lean over her and give her a half hug. It doesn't matter what you did. It's what you're doing now that's important.
So I'm guessing he doesn't trust you very far now these days, huh?
Well, she kind of like blinks a few times, and she'll return the hug from Darren. I've been feeding him false reports, or at least as much as I can falsify. He knows about you guys. She'll point to the main group, but I've specifically kept quiet about the ones from Purple. He asked me not too long ago if the leader of the resistance, Tibbs, had anyone he was close to. I only named myself.
Well now, so is he after you too then?
Not yet. For all intents and purposes, he thinks I'm double agenting.
So that means if you will have to give us the opening to get to Shepard then, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I'm tired of running away, and I'm tired of living by my mistakes, so I'm laying it all out on the table, and you guys can figure out what you want to do. I've screwed up enough. I want to do something right for a change.
I know that feeling.
I think we all do.
Definitely. I'm gonna give Darren a pat on the back after hearing that. So, we go after Shepard then. Is that it?
Seems like the best plan.
Seems like the only plan.
Yeah.
You're right about that, are you?
And take the elusive man's little contraption out of his cold, dead hands. or warm, dead hands. You know, I'm really not fussy on the time frame.
Can we get a copy
Maybe we'll just leave the hands on and just take off the elusive man.
Rain will also toss Elias a chip, and she'll say that is the combined intelligence on Cerberus from myself, Red Liam, and Green Liam.
Sorry, what were you saying, Jen?
We should get a copy of their technology of the mind shield they have here at the base that protected them from indoctrination.
Well, I already uploaded a version onto your Omnitools.
Oh,
Just don't lose it.
Can it be transferred to anyone with an Omnitool?
Yes. Just don't lose your Omnitool.
Could you transfer it to everyone with an Omnitool?
Not without interfacing with the satellites here, and that could be tricky.
I would think that with everything that's going on upstairs, Nia has said, they're probably going to be turning up the indoctrination signal to full blast. That's going to be a problem.
I could probably get you the encryption details on those satellites if you need them.
Well, it's more that the moment we do that, they know something's wrong.
Not if I'm the one doing it.
That's probably the best course of action. Brain, you're still with the Alphas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be your piece to this puzzle. Taking out the indoctrination satellite while the rest of us figure out a way to get to Shepard.
We do have the best ace pilot in the galaxy. I'm pretty sure taking out a couple satellites wouldn't be big of a deal.
I actually need to talk to you about that before you go. Actually. If you're serious about going rogue, you might need additional what was that, security on board your ship?
That would be nice.
Solus will say, to piggyback off of what Niha was saying, I think that is going to be the first step into finishing this. The Alphas can take care of that signal, and depending on how successful they are, hopefully it will make the rest of our jobs easier.
That leaves the Reaper force, the Cerberus forces to you, Tibbs. Are you men prepared for this?
He says that's what we've been training up for the last several years. We're about as ready as we ever will be, or die trying.
Actually, is Cerberus using the CSEC facilities?
Probably.
Because if Cerberus is using the CSEC facilities, when the I don't know if it happened here, but there was a Cerberus coup attempt on the Citadel, at least where I'm from, and I think it happened in at least Blue and Red as well. They took out CSEC headquarters first, because if you take that out, you basically take out all the comms. And unless Cerberus is using their own comm channel on top of that, taking out that... Sorry, Jeff, didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, I was just adding you could blind them to reinforce your argument.
Absolutely. You could effectively blind the entire Cerberus forces if you can hold that point.
That's a good idea. I will add that to the blinding strategy, because I already planned on blinding them on my own.
On an off note, wouldn't that also cripple their control over their own Reapers and give them a disadvantage?
Well, no, not as long as they've got Shepard.
Okay.
So we need to get Shepard.
Yes, but
Yeah, Shepard.
assuming he's at the top of the council tower or wherever, we basically need to distract everyone in the wards and get to the Presidium.
Sounds like a last mission on a bigger scale.
Yes, but it's going to take a lot of us to get to that point. A small group will have to go in to try to help Shepard, while the rest of us have to manage the forces that are fighting, I guess, Cerberus and the Reapers during this coup.
I'll put my tentacles around our car, and Darren's like, "Oh, I think we can handle that."
So, it's
think so.
sounding like you guys have come to a decision, which is exactly what I was hoping for, because you guys just single-handedly decided what your finales are going to be, which is what I wanted to do. So, it's sounding like the Alphas are going to be taking care of blinding Cerberus, and depending on how successful they are, it'll make the rest of your jobs easier.
Alright, guys, it was nice playing with you. We're all gonna die.
Oh dear.
I have gifts for all of you.
Yay.
I gave Arkara her big box with the Warlord suit in it, and she'll call Sesepia over and hand you a much smaller box. Like, this big.
Okay.
Whenever you open it, it is a Cirrus Council Savant amp and a combat shield.
Oh, sweet.
So, like, you just turn it on, and it's a shield.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then she'll call over Sink and Chen. And inside yours, there will also be combat shields, because you guys only need one hand to do what you do. And a Amorali Council Nexus Series Omni Tool.
Oh, the Armarley.
Yep.
Yeah. That one's a nice one.
Oh yeah. And then she will call over Darren and Anar. Inside Darren's giant box, there will be a Colossus combat suit.
Darren already has the Colossus.
Well, then you have another one.
I have too. Cool. That's what I always needed.
I'm sure you can trade that in for something else.
Yeah, because I didn't know what you guys had, so I just picked.
Yeah.
And in Anar's slimmer box is an N7 Valkyrie rifle.
Oh, what?
An N7 Valkyrie rifle.
Are you suggesting I'm cheating on my Revenant rifle?
Yep, that's exactly what she's
I'm sorry,
suggesting.
but we have an unbreakable love and romance here going on, but I will keep your rifle, sir.
For Lun, there will be an infiltrator combat suit and a combat shield. So now Lun has armor. For Aya, there is an Amorali Council Nexus Series Omni Tool, and finally, for Elias, there is an M98 Widow sniper rifle, and it's been decaled in blue and sort of like the Endurance, and there's feathers on it, like decaled in near the stock, and on the barrel it says, "Amidst the blue skies, a link from past to future, the sheltering wings of the protector," and it says underneath it, "Bluebird."
Oh, that's really sweet.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
The combat shields in the book require heavy armor.
Do they? Really?
Yeah, requirements heavy armor with motorized joints or crusher exoskeleton mod.
Well, then you can just trade it in for something.
Well, the thing is, these combat shields are if you look at the picture above it, they're the big heavy ones that the service people use. Not, I think you're thinking of the Omni version, which I think, for example, I think the only one I've seen in game was in the Shadowbroker lair, used by the Shadowbroker.
I guess they have an Omni equivalent. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But that's what I got. Like, it says... Oh, okay. Well, I tried. You can trade it in for something. Get one thing, I don't know. I mean...
I was going to say, we can probably mod your suit too, that's not a problem. Just go poke Riddy and say, "Riddy, can you mod my suit, please?"
But, yeah, that's essentially what they're for, is for you to do whatever you want, because the combat shields didn't count as the armor stuff, so...
Yeah.
And then finally, the other thing is she has a variety of colored necklaces, and all of the necklaces have different colors depending on which universe people are from. And they have everyone's names engraved on them. Everyone that she knew, anyway.
Oh,
And she
that's so
says,
cute.
traditionally, with my people, we give these to each other when we come of age, or at least with my family when we come of age, as a good luck for your good luck in life and good luck in your Huntress exams. But here, I think there would be a different reason, and that is, if you take one of these necklaces, you're promising to survive. And if you have someone that is precious to you, you give them yours, and you take theirs. So you carry their lives with you.
Oh, thank you, Ray. Not only for this, but for the truth as well.
Honestly, it went a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Tibbs will ask if there's anything else that people needs to bring up for the meeting. Because otherwise, Tibbs says, I think we know what our plan of attack is, or at least a rough idea, which is better than what we had before.
One last thing. Colliders.
Oh, that's right.
Good point.
I mean, I get the feeling they're nigh indestructible generally, and yes, I do want the one on the gun gone, because that one is far too imprecise, but what are we doing with the others?
Destroy them.
What for? Someone's gonna come along and create another one.
You're the only ones who can close them, right?
Well,
We're the only ones who
one
can
close them.
open new ones. Or close them, for that matter, at this point, yes.
Only because you have Mimic with you.
That's correct.
Theoretically, theirs can do the same thing with Mimic, but they really like Akara seeds. Mimic really likes Akara seeds.
Yeah.
Well, getting rid of the only way to close them doesn't seem like a good idea.
No.
As you said, if someone comes along and makes a new one.
The point is, someone is going to come along and make a new one eventually. Even if it's not through the way that we have, if Morden was able to cobble something together that just happened to be able to walk through an open portal, I'm sorry, but someone is going to come along eventually and figure out how to create the damn things. And destroying the only way we have of one, using them, and two, closing them, seems a bit risky.
If we kept them, Miha asked, then who's going to be responsible for keeping them?
I'm happy to keep one and plant a whole lot of fakes around because, well, this section is not going to go to air, but a lot of the other sections are going to go to air in my galaxy at least. I can hopefully make everyone believe that they've been destroyed.
That won't last
I suggest
forever.
we destroy a bunch of fakes, personally. Film it and put it everywhere.
So, Morden asks, are you also suggesting then that we don't use the Crucible to close all the gates then?
I don't trust the Crucible to do it, so no.
I relent to your wisdom, Elias, because I personally wouldn't even know where to begin to deal with these things, except smash them, and, well, as you discussed, that might not be the best of options.
Well, there is another consideration. Mimic. Because once we close everything, in order to make things work... Hang on, hard question.
Yes.
Do we need Mimic to close the portals, or do I just need Pi and a Collider?
You need Mimic to seal them.
Damn
You
it.
also need Mimic to open a sealed one.
Yeah.
So if you seal it, if you seal a gate, none of your colliders are gonna work without Mimic
By
unsealing it.
Yes.
Yes, by themselves without Mimic unsealing it.
Would it be necessary for Mimic and the Collider to be on the same side of the portal for it to work?
I don't think they necessarily have to be on the same side. You
Okay.
can, in theory, if what you're suggesting is to put Mimic back into Thetis, that could. Be
Well,
a
no.
theory.
What I was actually considering is leaving Mimic in red, and having the two colliders in a different galaxy. So, not sure which ones, but different galaxies.
So you're saying Arkara should keep Mimic on her
Well,
galaxy?
Potentially. As much as I would love to keep him around and study him, yeah, potentially. The only thing is, that really only works if we have an emergency way to communicate between universes, which I don't currently possess.
I think it's possible, though. Morden's.
I can get you that.
Even if we were to, even if we were to seal all the realities, it might be possible for us to be able to communicate with each other.
Because if the Colliders and Mimic don't have to be on the same side of the universe breach, in order to use a reality collider to open a new portal, you would have to get a collider in one universe and coordinate to get Mimic to a spot in a universe where a portal could be opened and be on the other side at the right time, ready to go.
Are you referring to
That
the
is very, very difficult.
What if we left one portal open?
Then the Reapers could use them.
Well, yeah.
Trying to do those anyway. Just
I
leave
mean,
one.
leaving a portal open seems like a very bad idea in general because we don't know how many universes there are.
Do you trust the Reapers in your universe, Alias?
I do, because if they wanted to kill us, they'd have done it already.
Why not just entrust the device to them, both of them? They will outlive us all.
Chen does have a point.
I actually think that Chen does have a point. Solus says. Morden says.
You said you spoke to Harbinger. He knows you. He knows the situation. Perhaps he can hold on to it.
Well, as far as it's concerned, we're destroying them. If they're
Not on
looking-
green.
Hmm?
Not in green.
No, I mean, as far as anyone else is concerned, we're destroying the colliders.
Well, yes, I mean, I think as far as anyone else is concerned, we should put out there that they're being destroyed. Because I don't necessarily want anyone else being able to get their hands on it.
You can tell them to watch out for that exact situation.
That's for them to decide, but it is an option.
In fact, if we can make them think that it's impossible to reproduce them, that'd probably be better.
It is their technology, or at least it was based on their technology.
Well, it is their technology.
It makes sense, Neha says.
Well, if it's their technology, they could reproduce it if they wanted to.
Yes,
Not like
they
yours.
could reproduce it if they wanted to.
But Harbinger
They
already said he doesn't
didn't
want
want
to.
to.
Yeah, Harbinger already
Yes.
said he doesn't want to.
Yeah, but if they don't want to, then it's not a risk for them having it, because it's not like we're giving them something they can't make themselves.
In that case, it can be destroyed.
Well, my concern is more if some other smart cookie decides to make one and is able to
Yes.
use it.
There's no failsafe then.
There is no
Well,
failsafe, and
You have
my
that
understanding from the Reapers is that it is actually quite difficult to make one, although Morden might have some input there.
Chen, what were you saying?
just to have them be aware of the situation and have them be the watcher, so to speak, of this problem, because none of us will be around for the humans, 100 years at most. Even the Krogans, 1,000 years. After
So
that,
you want me to take both of them, keep them somewhere safe, and let the Reapers know where they are? I can do that.
destroy the device and let the Reapers in your universe be on the lookout for potential new inventions.
Well, the problem with destroying at least one of them is, if someone does start making one, there's no way of fixing it. It'll take too long. Like, I think the idea is maybe give them one of them a mimic, did you say? To, like, watch over and keep safe?
Well, you need both Mimic and a Collider to make this work, which is why I was thinking you could, if you split them up into different universes, you then can't use them. It's virtually impossible to use them without communication between universes.
Yes, you'd have to jump through a bunch of hoops to do so.
Yes.
But
Which, to me, gives us a failsafe if we need to use them again, and also means that we can hopefully guarantee that no one who shouldn't be using them is going to be using them.
The other possibility, Jen, is what if the Green Reapers say no?
That's true.
They have the will. They have their own will. If they don't want to be watchers for all eternity, then we can't make them.
That's true.
Then you should try
And
the
also,
method first.
just because someone in green can make a lovely reality collider, I would point out that the first one that got made through non-Reaper technology was in yellow.
Yes, but like I said, if you have it distributed somewhere else, out of reach of the Reapers in your universe, you have just increased the chance of someone discovering the device, not even inventing it from scratch.
So what you're saying, Chen, Niha says, is that if we're not going to destroy them, that you want them handed over. You want them handed over to the Green Reapers.
Yes.
Out of character, we're not aware of Pi, are we?
Yes, you are, because Jeff just spoke to him while you guys were all present on your ship, the Normandy.
I thought that was before.
Yeah, you are aware of Pi.
Yeah, you know. You guys know.
You might not be fully aware about everything that Pi is and what he can do, but you are aware that he exists.
Yeah, that was more my point, that we're not fully aware. Just because Pi won't die if we could set him and software similar to watching out for it.
Yeah, but he
Stan's
wanted
not
I
aware.
will not agree to do that.
But Stan's not aware, he's not suggested it as an idea.
Whereas Rain still thinks he's a VI.
Yes, Rain does currently still think he's a VI.
No.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to check before I suggested it.
I can put fail-safes in place, and look, I should be able to set up at least a charitable body which has, whether knowingly or not, can guard over the devices. I can do that. But
To be honest, Elias, I do trust you the most with these things out of everybody else, especially after everything that's happened.
well, in my universe is the safest one from Reaper invasion, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
True, but I do trust you to actually make sure these things stay safe, whether through Harbinger, the Reapers, or your own devices.
And to be fair, you have the most resources to enable that. Well, you or Rain, but... yeah.
And we do trust you to not abuse this either.
I wouldn't trust me. Lun, Aya, you guys have been quiet, and Sync as well. Do any of you have any input?
I don't know if keeping both of the reality colliders in the same place is necessarily a good idea.
Agreed.
I think they should be separated.
Look, I'm happy to look after one, but I'm not sure I should be looking after both of them.
Well, maybe we keep the other, our vault. Since we're going to be setting up a new civilization together, then
You
Let's
could, in
continue.
theory,
Yeah.
keep it in the vault, couldn't you?
You
I
could leave it in the
think
vault in purple. That's actually a pretty safe place for it.
But out of character, are the people in the purple vault leaving that vault and going to a different galaxy out of
They're
character?
going to red,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would mean it would make the vault basically
Be
well,
a tomb.
a
A
tomb,
vault.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is a pretty good place to leave a collider.
I
In
mean,
a
if
tomb
we
guarded by reapers that don't even know
also,
what's there.
in theory, if we had time to mess around with it, you could put so many booby traps in that vault.
the thing is, though, if we're putting it somewhere we can't get it, we might as well destroy it. My point was we could keep it with the people from the vault and
That
protect
would,
it.
but then the problem is if you're doing that, then Mimic is still in the same universe if he's left in red.
Maybe Rain can keep the second one.
Here in yellow.
Are
I
you
don't-
staying in yellow?
I don't know where I'm going, and I don't want to be trusted with guarding one of these things.
I agree.
Look,
I personally don't
We
want
could always destroy one of them. We don't need both.
True.
True.
Lun, Sisepia,
I'm happy with either the second one being destroyed or left in a tomb of the purple universe.
Actually, Sisepi, are you able to? One in blue is not a bad thing.
I mean,
That doesn't seem really fair, I guess.
Get that. You might trust all of us, but can you trust anyone that comes after us?
Always the question.
I guess an idea would be if Sisepia, you could use your people in CSEC. Treat it as toxic material, put it behind layers and layers and layers of protection underground, guarded by CSEC.
The thing is, the risk exists regardless of if we trust it with someone or not, because eventually someone's going to make more of these. But is this way maybe we can try and leave someone who can deal with it later?
Well, I'm also thinking that there are still Reapers in blue, so assuming you can actually get one to talk to you, there's always a failsafe there.
Maybe after we figure out what happened to the shepherd here in yellow, maybe we could figure out some kind of way to speak with the ones in blue.
Okay, well... Okay, so we make out like we're destroying them, and we possibly destroy one of them, or one goes to blue. I'll take one to green and deal with it there, and
Mimic goes in
we
red.
leave Mimic in red with Arkara.
I'd rather have two. The reason being if, down the line someone gets out of hand with one, then there's another person to try and keep them in line.
That's
That's why-
true.
That's why I thought, as I said, putting one in maybe in purple.
But no one can get
But,
to it.
but then you can't get there. You'd have to have one to get to the one in purple to
True.
begin with.
If it's in
And
purple,
you'll
we
have
might
to
as well
keep
destroy it.
passing down that information from generation to generation.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
the eyes are for.
Then you just caused a self-fulfilling prophecy of someone either discovering or reinventing this
That's
device.
That's gonna happen regardless, Chen.
Yeah,
You gotta-
reinvention is going to happen no matter what we do.
Then that it happened naturally. We
Yeah,
didn't
so
want to add
that-
to the situation.
Well, no, that's why we want one just in case.
Maybe not.
Lun, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What exactly did you get from Dane whenever you went to his facility a few days ago?
Me, well, I stole a chip.
It's
What
very
kind of chip specifically?
powerful experimental biotic amp.
Bionic amp. It's not official intelligence sync.
The psychopath who saved you from? Something similar to what he has.
while we're waiting, just get a copy from Ring of the star chart. She doesn't know about Thetas, but she's interested in that information.
Oh yeah, Chen must be completely ignorant about Thetis being a thing that she's
Right.
learned about.
Rain is basically just going to give Elias all of the information, including the information about lyrium, because she has some of it in crystal form.
Yeah, so
Okay.
do we.
Okay.
But unless that comes up in conversation, I'm not going to be bringing that up any further in conversation.
Yeah.
So, I think Tibbs is going to adjourn, and whatever extra stuff you guys can discuss offline.
Aya wants to talk to Tadashi.
I'm sure you do. Okay. Is this immediately after the meeting?
Well, basically, she will come up to him and like say,
Hi, Aya.
"Hey, bro, walk with me, would you?"
All right.
And basically, she'll she'll survey the entire area, take a good look at where, make sure she knows where everyone is, and then she'll just motion for Tadashi to walk with her, and like she'll say, "Look, back in at the games, I wanted to apologize. It wasn't fair. Mostly because what happened to me hasn't happened to you in the same way. And I wanted you to understand everything." She will bring up her Omni tool and sort through some files until she finds an old holobit. She pulls it up, and it shows a press conference where David Anderson is speaking about the horrible event that was a Blue Suns attack on an Alliance ship. In the background, a group of soldiers is standing, as well as a teenage Aya who is still missing an arm. Mostly all that happens is that he holds a speech, and he then presents each of the soldiers with a medal, and then he comes to Aya and presents her with one as well, and posthumously presents her parents with one. And then he will turn again towards the entire audience, and he will proclaim that these unknown assailants will be captured. And at that point, Aya will just stop him, or Aya in the holowit will just silently, suddenly start to move. Throughout the entire thing, she's been standing as if like she was just a zombie, like dead look in the eyes and everything. And then, as soon as he says unknown assailants, it's like she wakes up and she moves forward, mouthing something. Anderson turns towards her. "Excuse me," he says. "Unknown assailants." Aya replies. She speaks louder. As she walks towards him. "They are not unknown. You know exactly who they are." She says, "Well, we can't," Anderson begins, but Aya cuts him off. "Are you covering for him? Are you trying to save your own ass because you know it was not just some random mercenaries? We are still investigating footage from the ship." Anderson begins, but Aya cuts him off again. "They are not unknown," she's shouting. "They are not fucking unknown. They were led by your fucking brother." She screams the last part into his face, pushing him away from the podium. "Dane, I know this will reach you, and I want you to know I'm coming for you. No matter where you are or wherever you're hiding, I will find you and I will kill you." And then the feed cuts out.
Tadashi, watches the whole thing, and he, at first doesn't have much of an expression on his face. He's very stoic while he's watching this. And then when the feed cuts off, he sighs. He rubs his eyes a little bit. I know I'm not your brother, but for whatever this is worth to you, I am sorry that that happened to you.
The worst part was when my actual brother decided to stay with the Alliance afterwards. It was a betrayal unlike anything I've ever experienced, and seeing you made it all come up again. Sorry. I know now that you're not the same, and it's unfair to take it out on you as if you were.
No, he says, you have no need to apologize. I, of all people, know that I've had my faults. I've made my mistakes as well. I may act like a holier than thou kind of a person, but I have my own share of mistakes, and I have my own share of demons in my closets as well. So, if it helps you to be upset or angry at me, I actually encourage you to do so.
Yeah. Thanks. You know, if nothing else, maybe we can start anew. She'll she'll reach out a hand, her flesh hand, not her robot arm.
He looks at it, and he slowly takes a hold of it, and he shakes it. Honestly, if you were asked my opinion, I feel like the other me in green would probably be a much better brother for you.
Yeah. Well,
I think that
it was a very awkward short conversation I had with him. And considering his sister is actually currently in jail, it would probably not be the best.
Well, like I said, if it helps you to feel that we've buried the hatchet, so be it. But if it also helps you to still be angry at me and to still hate me...
Oh no, don't worry about that. I don't hate my brother. I realize now that he was trying to work around it using the system itself. He was trying to avenge her parents in his own way. However wrong and misguided that way was.
Well, it sounds to me that you, regardless of what happened to you back then, I would like to believe that you have become the kind of person that our parents would be proud of.
I would like to believe that too.
Thank you, Aya, for talking to me. I hope that you will continue to find peace.
You're not getting off that easily. Come on. It's time for you to talk to me too. I can see that you're having your own set of problems, and you can't just leave them out. You can't just keep bottling it up.
Alright. Sure, you want to talk? I'm scared, Aya. I'm very scared of what's about to happen. There are a lot of choices that we're making, and I'm very afraid of the consequences of some of the choices. Not that I'm saying that they're not the best ones we can make, I'm just saying. There's no way of knowing for sure of whether or not what we're doing is the right course of action or not. So, I don't know if you I just don't want to be responsible for dooming everything.
Yeah.
I don't want...
You don't want it to feel like it was your choice that made the world burn.
I just want everything to be the way it should. And you and I, of course, don't always agree on that.
Not always, but we're brother and sister. We can't agree on everything. It would be weird.
I'd like to believe that we might be able to give ourselves a second chance.
I would too.
Hopefully at the end of this we'll survive it and not still be angry at each other at the end.
On another note, I saw you and our little purple friend there.
He clears his throat. Really now?
Come on, don't hide it. You've got feelings for the girl. She'll give him an elbow in his side.
He says, my relationship with Rain is strictly business.
At this point, they will have been walking around, like, this hallway, and they'll be quite near Rain's position by now. I will just keep talking. Don't you dare lie to me like that. Yeah, I know you too well.
How about you and that Quarian?
Oh, we totally boning.
Wait, what?
There's an image I didn't want to see, Tadashi says. Okay.
Now it will never leave your mind. She'll put her hand around. She'll put her arm around her shoulder and be like, "Come on, really need to get that stick out your ass and go ask her out."
He mutters something. Roll up perception. He mutters something.
15.
You catch him muttering, "Who's to say nothing's already happened?" We'll see how that. I'm keeping it vague because I don't know what's happening in the finale session with Rain, so I'm keeping it very vague on purpose.
Regardless, what happens is that now they are directly behind Rain, so I will just let go of him.
She's just gonna do it now, isn't she?
And she'll slap Rain on the ass, like the real good one, slow motion, super jiggle physics, heavy one. And so then she'll just turn to Tadashi.
Rain will
Tadashi
give the
has
girliest.
a horrified look at his face.
Rain is going to give the girliest yelp that you've ever heard come out of her, and like spin around, and her face is like bright pink, and she looks absolutely mortified.
Yeah, I think both Rain and Tadashi look absolutely mortified and uncomfortable.
And Rain is just gonna kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna go over here now. And she's just gonna kind of like waddle away, brushing lightly.
Thank you, sis.
And at this point, I will just push Tadashi after her and say, "Go get her, Tiger."
Tadashi gives a little, like a head shake, and he walks down the hallway.
In the same direction as Rain or not?
We'll say towards the same direction as Rain, and the result of that will probably take place in Alpha's finale. So.
Smooth.
I was waiting for that, Malik.
Yeah.
We
I
all
was waiting
saw it
for that.
coming.
Oh, well, he's been
I saw it
talking about
coming.
it for ages.
Yeah.
Crystal, right?
Yes.
Look, this probably isn't my place to say, but ran into your dad on Red. Yeah,
Not
he
really.
misses you.
That's someone else.
Yeah, but he still misses you.
Thanks.
If you're going to be staying with the vault and staying in red. This is his contact information. He's last time I checked, he was on Tachanka.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Incidentally, he also knows you exist. As in, you.
Thank you.
Rain will ping everybody in Bravo Squad because there's something semi-important that she needs to do that involves
Okay.
Aya.
Okay, go ahead.
She'll ping all of the Bravo Squad, and she will, including the NPCs, I guess. And she'll say, before we go our separate ways, the next chip she pulls out will be, she'll hand it to Darren, and she'll say, this is actually for all of you, but I think it's best if you hold on to it, Darren. In the case that the worst thing happens, and I don't make it through this alive, all of my credits and funds, cars and finances, everything that I own is meant to be transferred to this chip. Use it to help your people.
Hopefully it won't come to that. But thank you. It's a bit morbid, but, you know, I do appreciate the thought. You don't really have to help us as you've been doing so along, and I understand that you have reasons to do so, but it doesn't change the fact.
You know, after all these years, you're still really bad at saying noble things. And she'll give him a hug.
I am the most noble of creatures. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is Rain
Go
going
ahead.
to inform them about your safe haven?
Yes. The one that the elusive man doesn't know about, so.
The one into the burnt out building.
Yes. The one where her old base was. She will inform them of that so that way they know. And she'll give them the passcode to get in.
So basically what Rain is offering is when the war begins and stuff hits the fan, if you don't want specific people to be there, like Talia or Lucas, for example, you can put them there instead, and anyone who actually is participating in the final battle can participate in the final battle.
So after all this is over, where are you going to end up?
Honestly, that's something I keep thinking about. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be dead when this is over.
Well, yeah, maybe all of us will be dead, and the universe will be a giant smoking bowl of rubble. But you know, what if not?
Well, honestly, I've thought about going back home to blue, or honestly, maybe going to green. I don't think red is a place for me, and our time here in yellow isn't really all that satisfying.
Well, if you do decide to come to green, and I do end up keeping one of the colliders, got a job offer for you if you want to take it.
What kind of job exactly?
Well, researching that damn thing. I say, you know, colliders. Out of everyone, you're probably the most scientifically minded of us here.
Maybe so. Yeah, I guess in a way it would be kind of good to go back into research again, just this time making sure I don't let it take over my entire life.
Well, if it does, I can always order you to take time off the project.
That wouldn't be so bad either.
I'm almost certain that your, family might have a thing or two to say about that.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Darren yet. I haven't talked to Tracy much either. I know she's kind of, well, she was drugged up earlier, and it's best to let her sleep it off.
Look, it's not a pressure thing, man. It's just a case of if you do decide to come to green, I could use the help.
Thanks for the offer, though, Elias. I'll definitely think about it. Just no promises.
None needed.
Out of character, way back in the beginning session, like during the dossier that Mississippi had on people, Crystal Chen was one of them, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
I think it was, or either that or it was Book Chen. I feel like it was Book
Oh,
Chen.
it was book. It was
It
book.
was
okay.
Book. It wasn't
But-
Crystal.
Cecipia has heard of the name or heard of the person.
And I think Cecipia has been told that Crystal Chen is Book's daughter, at least in the other universe. So I think you know that either through Elias or through Tachanka, because you've been to Tachanka twice. I'm pretty sure you would have figured it out.
Yeah.
Crystal has been observing the two family reunion of
Mm-hmm.
the Arnett's and the Altus,
Yes.
and she's been reminiscing about how much that her Bravo squad hasn't been able to have a chance with their own family reunions because of what happened to their universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she finds a chance to talk to Cecipia, not completely separate from everyone else, but maybe in a quieter corner, if that's possible. Where would Talia be at this point?
I would play with Lucas. Oh.
Yeah.
Probably with Lucas. Yeah, I imagine she's with Lucas.
Lucas and Talia have like hit it off ridiculously. I don't know how you guys are gonna break it to them that you guys are gonna be in separate universes. Assuming that's what's gonna end up happening.
Another layer of complication.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's part of, that's part of.
Gotta say goodbye.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
You have to say goodbye sometimes. That's just part of an adventure. You don't always get to stick around.
It's true.
Anyway, actually, knowing Cecipia, she might actually be happy that they're in two separate universes, especially when Talia gets to be like 15 or 16 years old. So she might like that Lucas and her daughter are not in the same universe. So
Watching them like a hawk. I'm watching you. Talia and Lucas confirmed.
Talia
Season
and
two.
Lucas ship.
If the parents
And how
could get together, the kids will.
It would be
Exactly.
super awkward. It would be super awkward if like Lucas and Talia did end up, getting very close, and then they like look through one of Elias's old like videos that because he said he recorded the entire date with Sink and Cecipia. So if they ever found that, they were like, "Oh God, this is so weird," that their parents were on a date together.
Call Google and had it pulled out of the search result or something. delete. So Sepia is going to be promoted into some security chief. She has the power.
Both Octavius and Trissy will end up seeing it, and they'll be like, what?
Oh man.
Anyway, go ahead, Crystal.
Officer Altus, I presume?
Yes. You're Crystal Chen, correct? Miss Chen?
Yes. Medical officer of the Normandy.
You were the group that helped us get out of that situation, correct?
Yes, I was with a group of friends of the galaxy members.
I owe you my thanks then. Thanks to you, I was able to come back here to Talia.
We had help. But I just want to tell you that the first time we were sent on a mission by the Friends of the Galaxy to save someone from that asylum on Earth, I was not prepared to save either Chris or Octavius.
It's
Which
fine. It's a huge burden to have to decide which life is more deserving. I don't know if I would have been able to make that decision if I had no connections between the two of them. So it was a tough decision. I hold nothing against you and your group.
but I would not have. Your family would not have been reunited today.
I mean, it all worked out, I suppose. Again, no ill will. It was an impossible decision to make. I met your father on the Red Universe.
But that's not my father. My father is dead.
True, the whole different universes. I got a little bit of an insight on him, the kind of person that he was, or I would imagine that he might have been in yours. I kind of got the feeling that he was the kind of person that would do anything for you. When I ran into him, finding out that you had died in his universe. If you do end up meeting up with them, I don't know what'll happen, but the whole subject on family reunions, it's just something to think upon, you know? Even though he isn't your actual father.
Was he Cerberus there as well?
I believe he used to be, but now he was working for a different group, the Friends of the Galaxy. He was actually met him on Tachunga. They were working on trying to find a cure for the genophage. Although I think his motives were maybe he had his own motives, but he was still in that kind of an area of working towards helping out others.
Would you trust him if you were in my shoes?
I would say he at least deserves a shot. I don't know if I could say 100% yes or no on that subject, but it's still something to think about. Especially if you're going to be in a world where you won't have many other connections, it's still something to consider.
And
Chance
Crystal,
it'd be a chance for you to kind of retake what was lost to you.
I always have better memory of him in my mind than who he is now.
Out of character, this whole situation sounds extremely similar to Octavius and Talia.
Mm-hmm.
What's Crystal saying about father image versus who the father actually is? I don't know if that's going to affect what Giuseppe is going to say to her.
I'm sure whatever decisions he has made in the past, any regrets or anything at all that he might feel, it's still that second chance at happiness, you know? There's no sense in closing yourself off chances. I'm sure it may be painful, but the alternative is, I guess it's better to do it and know the outcome and then not go through it and keep wondering what if, you know? Would you, if you had a chance to beat your father, would you take it?
For me to still have my father is not fair to the people who have lost their fathers because of what he fought for.
It's still something though to consider, you know? I'm sure he might be just missing you just as much. He went through a great deal after he had lost you in his universe. Be able to trigger those moments, you know?
I know we have just met. You seem like the person that my mother would be great friends with.
I'm glad to hear that.
And I'm so happy that you are here for your daughter.
Thank you. And I'm happy that you guys were on board with us, and so happy that you guys were able to help us. And happy that you guys were able to have a chance to just kind of escape the war that happened on your universe.
In a way, it's our second chance.
Exactly.
Officer Altus?
Yes? You can call me Seppi if you want. You don't have to be too formal.
It's a tradition in my family. Old habits die hard.
I understand.
I'm so honored to be fighting alongside you.
As am I.
And she holds out her hand to shake Sesepia's hands.
And she will shake her hand too.
That I love that scene.
Yay!
I love that, seeing the
That was
two of
awesome.
you interact, because not only was it really cool just to see those two characters,
Characters who would
who never really interacted before interact like that, but it's one thing I love about all of your stories is that you can definitely find similar themes. And
parallels and mirrors.
The parallels between Octavius and Talia and Crystal Chen and her dad, like that wasn't something that I planned. It's just when
It worked out that way.
when E went up to Sesepia of all people and started talking about how she saw her father, I'm like, this sounds so familiar. Didn't we just roleplay something like this? Like, oh, that's right. So that's what I love about that. And even like the whole situation. This is definitely not the first time it's happened. It's always happening. Like another example that I can remember is Tibbs and Darren and Beatrice and Sync. Like that's from the same family even. So it's just really interesting how the two siblings dealt with it in completely different ways. And neither of them, I don't think either way is necessarily right or wrong. It just depends on the person and the situation. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
She knows what she wants, right?
yeah. Tristy can be very persistent.
Lun's kind of done some stuff in secret, and when Aya gets back to her room, basically she will find Lun out of his suit, dressed in a white summer dress, no makeup, hair down.
Are you sure that's healthy for you?
I've taken enough drugs. Anyway, this is me.
She will go up to him. Take
It's her
his...
now.
Well,
Boys can wear
Oh.
dresses.
boys can wear dresses, yes.
She'll take his hands and like, gently caress his face and be like, sure, you're okay.
I was thinking about what Chen said, and do you know what? This is stupid. You're like turn to leave.
No, it's not. You look cute. She'll grab him and pull him in for a big hug.
You'll sigh and be like, well, this is the me before I screwed everything up. This is Luna. And I owe her an apology.
How so?
I messed up her life. I took away the dearest person to her, sent her from her people, because I wanted one damn chip.
I will give Lun a hug.
And, god damn it. Well, maybe it's time we realize we can't fix our pasts.
Yeah.
I saw you talking to Tadashi earlier.
That was basically the same thing. Just for my brother instead of my lover.
Yeah, that's a thing, technically. So, when this is all done, what are we doing?
Well, I was thinking, you know that it's that good sushi place down in the Citadel.
Which
You know.
one? There's several.
You know the big one with with the big water tanks and the very expensive
No.
stuff.
I meant which Citadel. There's a few of them.
It doesn't matter.
That's not answering my question. My question is, where do you want to go?
Wherever we're free.
Technically, that's
We're free of
Technically, that's 3.5 universes, Aya. Oh, you're impossible.
Exactly. She'll give him a kiss.
He'll like sigh, give her a slight kiss back, and be like, "But seriously, we have got to think about this because we may not. Heck, we not even survive after all this. So you know, there's actually a serious conversation, Aya."
It's only serious if you want it to be.
He's gonna grab like the nearest item and bonk her on the head with it, so probably a pillow. Yeah, he's gonna flap her across the head with a pillow. Like, I was thinking maybe if everyone's going to Red, we could maybe get an apartment in Red, and I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds good. If nothing else, we can always just steal all Rain's cash.
Oh, you're impossible.
Exactly.
I should really go put my suit back on.
No, you don't. That can wait for...
Wait,
how long?
I don't know. I kind of borrowed these from Chen's like hospital wing without asking.
Borrowed.
Acquired.
Yeah,
More like Trissy's.
there'll be probably another hour until it...
There was one more thing I wanted to show you. You still got the chip I gave you?
Yeah,
Pass it here.
she'll pass it over.
He'll turn it over and then literally presses the delete button on it.
Wait, what?
That's the last memory of my mother.
And you just deleted it. Why?
Because why should I let it hold me back anymore? Or the guilt?
Yes, that makes sense in a strange
Anyway.
kind of way.
I still remember that old melody. Na-na-do, na-na-do. It's hard to forget.